I'm Lisa Rankin. I'm the director here at the Lompoc Museum.
Show me some of the highlights here.
Well, the museum started with a donation of a very large collection of Chumash artifacts, and in our main gallery here, the Ruth Gallery, named for Clarence Ruth, who donated his collection, everything in the middle is Chumash, as well as down that last aisle is also Chumash. And just this last fall, we were closed for a few months and we've rearranged everything on this floor so that it's more logically laid out and it's easier to point out the Chumash material. We still have a few cases that we're working on the final displays and on the signage, and so that's still a work in progress. But some of the nicer, the whole collection is fabulous. It's one of the largest collection of Chumash materials. And one of the nice part of our collection is this really incredible projectile point or arrowhead collection, as it's referred to commonly. And it's not just local materials, but there's some of the drawers are from Northern California.
Can you pull out another drawer?
Sure.
I was looking at it earlier. Those drawers are heavy, huh?
They are heavy, yes. We warn people don't pull them past about this far because they are heavy, and you know they'd hurt your foot pretty badly if you dropped them. So
it hurt my foot too if one of these landed.
Yes,
into my foot.
yes. Yeah. And so this is, you can see all kinds of different tools, drills, knife blades. The actual arrowheads, of course, are only the very smallest projectile points, because anything bigger than that would make them fall. So this is all local. So these top 4 drawers are all local. And then this is from Northern California. This is obsidian, not local, but really nice collection of obsidian blades. So there's like 14 drawers with arrowheads. We also have a very nice collection of West Coast baskets. The baskets in these 3 cases are all California. Different parts of California.
Wow, beautiful.
Really pretty.
Are any of them Chumash?
We have one over in one case. We have a basket that's a Juanita Centeno, who is a very well-known local Chumash woman, born in Lompoc, but then raised at the San Ynez Reservation, where she really learned all about the native ways of the Chumash and shared that with people. So we have a case of material that is on loan that belonged to Juanita that she had made, and this basket down here was her grandmother's.
Is it made out of juncus?
Juncus, there's several different, but juncus is one of the main materials that Chumash made their baskets. They both twining as well as can't think of the other weaving. Method. Yes, the method, both methods, depending on. This is Juanita Centeno, and then this is what she used to wear with the school children to show her Native American, to help them remember and that she is Native American. It is not the traditional Chumash dress. This is actually Plains Indians. This is a white deer hide, but
she happened to have it.
She made it, actually. She made it. The actual traditional Chumash dress is much less. It's like the Chumash just wore, women wore a grass skirt and a lot of maybe shell necklaces, and they had long hair, but they didn't wear a lot else in the summer. They'd have fur pelts on for winter. So she couldn't wear that into the classroom, obviously, is probably part of it. But yeah, she's very well known, well loved locally. She taught here, shared her life ways, the Chumash ways, and also out at the mission in town. So these are all this is the local material. In this case, we've just completely redone, and it shows about the hunting and the fishing and gathering. The Chumash were hunter-gatherers. They did not cultivate. They were not farmers. This area was so rich, there was just so much food here to gather that they didn't need to plant until the missions were established, and then they became agriculturalists, and it was a much more restricted diet than what they had historically been. And then this case is in the process of being redone, but it shows Chumash adornment and the clothing. They had lots of beautiful jewelry that they made out of shell and steatite beads and things like that. And then down here, these cases are in progress yet. This one is almost done. It's on the Chumash spiritual life and the worldview, rock art, which is very important. The Chumash are considered to have had some of the most highly sophisticated and just beautiful rock art in North America. And this one is going to be on leisure, on games, dances, music, as well as oral history stories. And then in addition, and then these are some of the bowls, stone bowls. We have a very large collection of stone bowls that are Chumash. And then along this,
Chumash?
yes. Yes, and then this one shows kind of the stage. It's the local rock. I mean, there's sandstone, there's basalt, they're just local rock. And the interesting thing, these bowls they used to grind acorn, which was one of their primary food sources, and they'd cook it into acorn mush, but they would not cook in those bowls because those bowls do not conduct heat well. So if you put those on a fire, they would crack. So instead they did indirect cooking by cooking in baskets. Chumash were phenomenal basket makers, and they would weave so tightly that the baskets actually held water.
And did they also use asphaltum?
They did to line, but they didn't even need that when they were cooking. That it would the fiber, tight. Yes, and they would swell just a little. So they'd put the acorn and the water in there, the acorn meal in the water, and then they would heat rocks, put the rocks into the basket, which would indirectly heat. So that, and then they'd change them out as soon as they'd cool down. So that's really how the Chumash cooked, unless they traded and they got steatite. And steatite is a soft stone, and it's wonderful for cooking because it does conduct heat well. And so we have some of the steatite bowls also, and they would cook in there.
And the rest of the museum, is there a store?
There is a gift shop, and then these are non-Chumash areas. So all along this area is material from Northern California, Oregon, southwestern United States, the Plains, Alaska, and then at the very end is even South America. So there's Mr. Ruth not only made a large collection, and his collection was made in the 1920s and 30s, but he obviously traded as well, which was common for collectors at that time. And then these are some other baskets that we have. This is southwestern baskets, and on the other side is maybe British Columbia. And then this is is a diorama.
A Chumash village?
It is a Chumash village to give students kind of a three-dimensional representation of what it was like to grow up and live in a Chumash village. It's kind of, I don't know if I'd say old-fashioned, but it's something that museums used to have lots of dioramas, and we consider them still to be one of the best ways to let children have a good idea of what it was like to grow up Chumash.
Nice that it's not electronic.
Yes. We do not have high-tech exhibits.
If you need help with high-tech, I could help you out.
Oh, really? Well, I'll remember that.
iPad of the,
That's true. That's downstairs, right. And this is our gift shop area. One of the things we redid is these are items that are from a tourist art collection that was donated. So these items are not for sale, but they were part of a tourist art collection that was donated in 2010. And some of the items date from the 1920s and 30s. So these are...
exhibit.
Yes, it's an exhibit of artwork that was for sale at one time. And now this is our gift shop. So we have large books and gifts. Local artists are featured as well.
Okay, well, thank you. And so what's the address and contact information?
The address is 200 South H Street in Lompoc, and our website is lompocmuseum.org.
And the phone number here?
805-736-3888.
And your hours?
Tuesday through Friday, 1 to 5, Saturday and Sunday, 1 to 4. And this is the main gallery, which is the Chumash, but then we also have the Historic Society Gallery downstairs where we have exhibits on Lompoc pioneer period, as well as natural history exhibits.
Okay, well, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And you too, have a nice afternoon.
Thank you very much.